Santa's fake, but parents still spend billions pretending he's not. All right, can I just rant on Christmas for a second, John? I fucking hate... I'm such a fucking Scrooge. I don't understand Christmas. Like, how are you supposed to do this every year until the day you die? I'm 41, and every year you got to listen to that same fucking Mariah Carey song, the same jolly old Saint Nick, watch the same movies, eat the same cookies, put up the same decorations. I genuinely do not understand this. My wife hates it that I feel this way, but I don't get it at all. Maybe it's because I have such a very, very small family. I really only had... my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and an aunt and uncle here or there, or a grandma. That's really all I had, right? We didn't have much of a family. And so maybe these big families, that's what you're missing. Maybe, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I don't understand this. And like, more importantly, I don't understand how we tell our kids about this big fat guy that flies through the sky and gives out presents every year. And we just fucking lie right to their face. And we take them out and we spend a bunch of money like taking pictures with some fucking random guy. I don't understand Christmas at all, John. I could rant forever on this. If you want to stop me at any point, help me. I do not understand this. And my wife and I have had real fights over, telling our 4-year-old this story. And she's like, you don't understand the magic of Christmas. We have to give them the magic. Maybe it's because I didn't really, get to have the magic myself. I was the youngest kid. My brother's 4 years older than me. He told me all sorts of stuff I shouldn't have known at ages I definitely shouldn't have known it. And this is one of them. And so maybe I just didn't get to experience the magic. And what do you think, John? Am I crazy here? I know you know how I feel about Christmas and most really any holiday.
I mean, I get what you're saying. 100%. I don't agree with everything you just said, but I get it. Like none of my kids have ever been told that Santa's real.
Is that serious?
Yeah. Yeah, from day one. There's no Santa, there's no Easter Bunny, there's no nothing. Like we say Santa, Santa's a story, and it's a fun Christmas story, but like Jesus, it's a story. You don't believe it.
We just got canceled.
We did. When they got to school age, we did say, hey, look, there are some kids out there who believe that Santa's real still, okay? Now, he's not, but don't go and make fun of them because they believe he's real. We say that about some other beliefs that people have as well to our kids, which is the right thing to do. Unfortunately, the people who hold those beliefs can't do it the other way, right? Which I find fucking amazing because that's completely the opposite of what your beliefs say you should be doing. But anyway, we'll leave that little one alone for a bit longer. I'm sure we're going to have that episode sooner or later.
Coming next week.
But look, I don't get how you Americans have Thanksgiving and then Christmas like a month apart. That's fucking weird, right? So in Australia, Christmas is more like Thanksgiving. Like, why do you have two things that are essentially the same so close together? It makes no fucking sense.
Oh, they're so different, John. When I was a kid, they told me that when white people came over to America, we were such good friends with the Indians, we sat
Really?
down and had dinner with them. And we are celebrating that union we built together here in America. That's what Thanksgiving is, buddy. And then Christmas is terrible. Like a celebration of Christ, right? It's when Jesus was born. That's what we're celebrating on Christmas.
But isn't Thanksgiving like for you guys? And once again, I'm Australian. We don't have Thanksgiving at all. I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But like the impression
they don't celebrate the day all the prisoners got off the ship or something like that?
No. No, we don't. Well,
Escape Day?
Yeah, some people here call it Invasion Day. But, that's...
so you do celebrate it.
Yeah, that's Australia Day. That's a less popular thing than it used to be here as well. But isn't like Thanksgiving like the idea, like you get around with your family and you kind of hang out with your family and you're like grateful for people and shit like that, right?
Yeah, you eat turkey, stuffing, apple pie, or pecan pie.
Yeah. So in Australia,
are you a pecan or a pecan guy?
In Australia, if you have pecan. In Australia, if you have turkey, you have it on Christmas. It's literally the only day of the year where people eat turkey in Australia. Like cook a whole fucking turkey, right? Like, so for us, it's the one day of the year that you get together with your family and you have a big meal. Like, I mean, I know some families do it other times as well, but like blah, blah, blah. You do all of that stuff. People get really drunk in the evening. They have a punch on and that's family Christmas, right? Australia version.
We tend to mix the two, at least in our family. We have like Thanksmas, like the first week of December, something like that. And then I married my wife and her twins, my stepkids, their birthdays in between those two. So it's like from here until the end of the year is just nonstop. Tons of stuff I don't want to be involved in personally. And like, I can't stand this time of year, John. I genuinely can't. I know we're recording this, towards the end of November here. And I know this comes out Christmas week, but like, I cannot stand this time of year.
I think there's lots of adults who don't enjoy it for all sorts of different reasons. I think a lot of people have really bad memories about this time of year from when they were kids. I think it's kind of how you set it up in your family, though. Like I say, like we've set this time of year up in a particular way with our kids, which is that like it's a fun time of year. We've got some fun stories we tell. We do some fun things. In Australia as well, it's the end of the school year. So it's when they have their really long summer holiday, right? So they're not at school or anything like that. And it's just like a fun time of year. We do fun stuff, all of that sort of thing. There's no real, for us, beliefs or anything behind it or anything like that. It's just like, this is the time we get to spend some time together. Some of the things that we might buy our kids around Christmas or whatever, I often put them as like, these are also rewards for your hard work throughout the year. Like they're all working on stuff. This is some of your rewards for putting in that hard work and for us to say thanks to you for doing that. Yeah, but like, do we do the thing like Santa's coming down the chimney and let's leave out some little things for the reindeers and all of that sort of bullshit? No, we don't do any of that.
I just think it's insane that like you're doing the same thing over and over every year and you expect it to feel different somehow, or like the parents are like too chicken shit to tell them that I bought you these gifts, or like there's $1 billion economy built on parents refusing to say that they bought this for their kids, right? And Santa's watching, or be good or no presents. The stress is stupid. Like the parents get stressed out about maintaining this fiction, right? We have talks with our older kids who have now solved this equation of like, don't ruin it for younger kids, kind of like you did, right? It's the right thing to do, but at the same time, like you're reinforcing this because of what tradition? Like I don't understand it. Somehow I'm the fucking asshole for pointing all of this stuff out. It's not like I can go to my Thanksmas or my Christmas or Thanksgiving this year and have this conversation. So I'm glad we created this pod just so I can rant about what I fucking hate.
The one thing I will say to parents out there and probably newer parents who are thinking about this stuff, who might be listening in, or people who are thinking about having kids, there is absolutely no need to maintain the lie that Santa, like to build up the Santa thing, particularly the Santa element of all of this. Like you can believe that this time of year is whatever you want, but like don't waste time. Your kids will love Christmas and this time of year equally as much whether they believe Santa is real or not. Like, I tell you that from experience. My kids fucking love it this time of year, and they've always known that Santa is not real. Like always. We didn't even pretend from day one. They still fucking love it. They still fucking get into it. They still have a great time. They're having equally as good an experience as your kids are if you're making your kids believe something that's not true. Like, I don't get the lie part. Like, I don't get why people buy into that as adults and want their kids to believe it. Like, it's just work that you don't have to do. Like, it's completely unnecessary. And you're kind of secretly building the thought into your kids' minds that mum and dad lie about stuff. Which most parents do. Most parents do lie about things to their kids, right? Let's be real. What are mummy and daddy doing in the bedroom right now? Yeah, you're not telling them exactly right because you're protecting them. But you don't need to protect them about Santa, right? I mean, like, what the fuck? That's weird to me. That's super weird to me. I don't get it.
Well, now that we've got our ranting out of the way, there are businesses that have built themselves around this stuff. Some of them are super interesting, if I'm dead honest with you. And so I compiled a bunch of stuff. I'll try to share as much as I can. If you're not on YouTube or Spotify, you may want to be. I'm going to share a lot of screen on this stuff. So I'm going to call this the Santa Industrial Complex. I don't really know what to call this. It's fascinating to me, right? So the very first thing I found was like sites where you could go hire a Santa. So there was quite a few of these. I didn't want to single out one of them. There's actually quite a few where you can go book a Santa. So they are simply like a marketplace serving Santas, if you will, right? So you can go say, I'm in this area code. They connect with all the Santas and they can connect you to one. Varying rates of $150 to $500 an hour. Some will do home visits. Honestly, all a little bit creepy. That's why I didn't want to pull any up. But like top mall Santas, they can make like $1,000 a day. And what really blew my mind is there's schools for this. Like, you don't just say, I'm going to be Santa someday and go buy an outfit. No, like, most of these Santas go to a school or a university to be Santa. I don't think I knew that. Did you know that?
I definitely did not know that.
All right, so the first one I found was schoolsforsantas.com. I thought this was kind of interesting. I didn't click around too much on here, but there's multiple locations. There's cruises. You can go on a Santa cruise to learn how to be a Santa. I feel like I've seen that on social media, like pictures of 1,000 Santas getting on a cruise ship. That seems a little creepy to me. I'm not going to lie, but there you go. Alumni rates. $285 per person, $395 per couple. 2-day standard schools, $355 or $535 for a couple. 16 hours of training and a 260-page course book, all to get your personalized Santa diploma. I don't know. It kind of sounds a little wild to me.
It's crazy. I never knew, but I'm so happy that I know. This is like the best business ever.
So here's another one, Northern Lights Academy. I feel like I got the pricing somewhere off of this page, and it was like $450 for a 3-day course, something like that. Again, so that you can get Santatized at the Northern Lights Santa Academy. Yeah, trademarked Santatized. This is all wild to me. I couldn't believe this was a thing. It sent me down a rabbit hole, right? Or like who's the Santa, right? And it landed me on Timothy Conahan. I hope I'm saying that right. He's National Santa here on Instagram. I think he's retired at this point, if I'm honest with you, but you can scroll through. If you just go Google this guy's name, you will find pictures of him with some of the most famous people in the world. He's Santa. That's his thing. He's got his own rate card that I wanted to show you, John, of like, here's what he used to charge in 2022. So pre the most recent inflation, I would say. I bet these numbers would change now that we've, lost a lot of value in our dollar. But even this is pretty insane to do, little stints at parties is I assume what this is, right? Or maybe you're doing like a private show or something like that. If he's going into the city, he's charging a little bit more. I see that, but this is pretty good money to work 6 weeks of the year, honestly.
Yeah, nice one. I like it. Now, Ben, I've got to say, as a sidebar, is part of the reason you don't like Christmas because you are like a ready-made Santa?
So later in this, I'm going to have some ideas for you. And if you fucking say, Ben, you should do it, you kind of look like Santa, I'm going to fucking kick your ass through this.
I tell you, like a young Santa, you'd be like, you've even got like the nice rosy red nose and stuff. Yes. Like, I mean, you're fucking made for it. You can finally make your rosacea work for you, Ben.
I'm pretty sure his red nose is because he's a sulk, right? Santa likes to drink a little bit. I'm pretty sure of it.
Hey, John here for just a sec. You know how we're always breaking down these wild business ideas and road testing opportunities that other podcasts won't touch? Well, we're growing our own business here. This podcast, and we need your help. So here's the deal. If the Low Bar podcast has given you that holy shit I can actually do this moment, or just made your commute less boring, help us out. If you're watching on YouTube, go and hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, go to our profile page on Spotify and smash that 5-star button. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, hit the review button and leave us a review. It takes you just 30 seconds, costs you nothing, but helps us reach more people who think starting a business is rocket science, which it's not. And it will also give us the momentum we need to do even more fun and crazy business stuff right here for your entertainment. We love to keep it real with you. Now keep it real with us. Let's grow this thing together.
All right, let's talk. I want to talk like photo numbers, right? So you say you've never raised your kids like this. Have you ever brought them to the mall to have pictures with Santa? Have you ever done any of the cheesy stuff?
No, yeah, totally. Going to do it this year as well.
How is that possible?
But here where I live, it happens on the beach. So you go down to the beach. It's like beautiful beach, beautiful backdrop. Where I live is a beautiful part of the world, Sunshine Coast, Australia. And yeah, there'll be like a Santa wearing board shorts sitting there, and you get your photo taken next to Santa. Like, yeah, Santa, it's sick.
That was my next question. What is Santa wearing? Because up here, he's wearing a very hefty suit that would not be beach conducive.
Yeah, like he wears the hat and the beard and like a big red thing on top, but then he's got like board shorts down the bottom. Yeah,
he's just sweating balls.
Surfing Santa, man. Yeah. Surfing Santa. Yeah, he's probably sweating balls. Last year there was like massive thunderstorms at the same time, so like the backdrop was like these big thunderstorms over the ocean. Great photos, Ben. Great photos.
See, you don't partake. You don't teach your kids this, but you still go take photos. Walk me through that. Where's the reasoning?
But this is it. Like they know he's not. They know the guy's not Santa, but it's just fun. Like we go down to the beach, we muck around, we get a good family photo, which we don't get taken any other time of year. It's cheaper than if I go and hire a photographer to come out to our house and make those really fucking retarded looking superposed family photos where everybody's wearing the same thing and like. You Americans love that shit.
Heather's triggered right now.
That kind of stuff's dumb. Yeah. Sorry, Heather. I know you're a photographer. I love you very much. But yeah, the Santa one's fun. Like it's just fun. It's kind of dumb, but it's fun. It's fun because it's dumb for us. You know what I mean? And we have fun. We just have fun with it. It's not like the kids are there with their list for Santa and they walk up to him and they're like, oh, here's my list, Santa. Can I get all this stuff? And he's like, and then they start crying or anything like that. Like that's not our version of that for sure.
I don't know what your beach guy charges, but around here, roughly $40 for one photo. You can pay for a digital download, right? There's always an extra on there. So $25 extra, you get the digital copy. Everybody wants that because they need to share it on social media, of course. Where we have went before, Mall of America, which again, for me is just the mall. It's nothing special. It's just the mall to me. But, a lot of people go there for this. There's a fast pass. So you can pay $50 to skip the line and get in front of people, right? My wife likes to make an appointment. So here's a funny story for you, John. We did this in the middle, deep in the throngs of COVID. We go to the Mall of America, which is packed, by the way. Packed. When everyone was like, don't go out there, you might catch it. Packed. And we walk through this packed mall and we go into this little room and they sign us up and we walk into a room and there's nothing in there but some decorations and this big glass panel on the entire back wall. And then they're like, here comes Santa. And he walks out behind the glass panel that we can't even get within 3 feet of. It almost looks like he's in prison, like he's behind some big safety glass. And we take a photo with the kids sitting out in front of Santa. And they were like, doesn't the photo look great? And I'm looking at my wife like, why did we drive all the way here and spend? And then, of course, you got the digital copies. We got the whole package, right? And then I hate this stuff, John. I absolutely hate it. But they have to be just printing, right? The average session is 3 minutes. It's $40 minimum. That's $800 per hour. They run 8 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, 6 weeks of the year. I looked up companies like NOR programs. They run hundreds of mall Santas across many of the big malls. And so at $40 per photo, doing hundreds of kids per day for 6 weeks straight across 300 locations, do the math. It's tens of millions of dollars that they're bringing in for taking pictures of crying children with strangers. Like, this is so weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some back end costs on it. I'm sure, but I guess that the trick here is obviously there's people doing this. They just do it at Christmas time, and they're 6 weeks and make their money and that sort of thing. But there's got to be a business here where you're the get your photo taken with insert whoever business, right? And you've just got a dude and he's just got 1,000 different suits. You know what I mean? You go out to places because there's all the other different holidays and then there's all the other different mascots and then there's all the other different places you could get your picture taken with, sort of thing. You could go to kids' parties and get your picture taken with, I don't know, Iron Man or something like that. Surely there's a much bigger business in this somewhere.
So here's that nowhere. It's called Cherry Hill Programs, and you can see just that, right? They have their Santa, they have their Easter Bunny. I'm sure they could go 10 layers deeper here, right? You can't walk around Vegas or New York or whatever without somebody who's just a hustler on the side of the street dressed up as something, and they're taking pictures with you. I would assume there's a little more professional version of that. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is not.
Well, they look like they're doing it. I like it.
So I sat and thought about this. I don't like this at all. There's not an ounce of me that likes this. And I was like, what could I do to make me like it? How can I shift my framing and say, I want to get into Christmas? And the only way I could think of doing that was, we should fucking do this, John. Next year, I know you want me to be the fucking Santa. It's not happening. We can hire somebody.
Come on.
We can hire somebody. I live in a decent sized town. We could do it in this town, right? We could do a small sample. And you set up the thing. How hard could it be? I imagine other businesses around here would clamor for that. They want people in their door, right? There's 3 grocery stores in this town. I bet all 3 of them would fight over the opportunity to have this, so people are in their grocery store. If they're in there, they're going to buy something, right? So there's probably an opportunity to do this somewhere around me. How hard could this really be? Do we have to go to the Santa school and inquire on recent graduates so that we can find, you know what I mean? Do we send somebody off to that school? My brother likes to make extra money. Hey, Josh, I know you're listening to this. Would you like to be Santa next year? He's got the beard already. He looks like a young Santa as well. What do you think? Should we try this next year?
Sure, if you want to.
You're coming over for Christmas.
I'll tell you what, if we get to the end of next year and our YouTube channel has 100,000 subscribers, Ben is going to be the Santa. So if you want to see Ben as the Santa, help us get there, baby.
I'll honor that. If we get to 100,000 subscribers by next Christmas, I'll do it. I'll sit down with a suit on and I will I'll tell great Christmas stories, I promise. All right, so the next one I'll call digital Santa manipulation. So I would assume many people have heard of the Santa tracking apps, right? NORAD does this it's literally on a .gov site or .military site. They say they get 25 million visitors in 24 hours watching Santa. Same with Google Santa Tracker. They get 1 billion plus API calls on Christmas Eve is what they're claiming. But there's a lot of these in the App Store too, right? You can literally go to the App Store, look up Santa Tracker, They're all free with in-app purchases where I'm assuming you pay $1.99 not to see ads and you just see Santa flying around. And so that feels like an opportunity in today's age of being able to do an app pretty easily on lovable.dev or any of the vibe coding apps out there. That feels like a real opportunity to spin this up. Perhaps, as we're recording this late November, you could have it spun up before Christmas and actually get this live. I don't know how much money you're going to make, but that feels like a real opportunity to me.
Yeah, I didn't actually know they existed. Maybe it's because we don't believe in Santa in my house, but I've never seen either of those things. I haven't seen the NORAD Track Santa thing or the Google Santa Tracker. I'm totally going to check them out this year. You put me onto it.
Do it.
Like this is I love this rabbit hole. I love some of the things you could do here with an app around Santa.
I found a bunch more. You're going to love all of these, by the way. So one of them is like a video call Santa app. So it's quite literally recorded videos, and I'll show you an example of it in a minute, but there's like the call, so you can pay to call Santa and have a recorded video. Most kids aren't going to know the difference, right? There's a message from Santa, so you could get an AI generated video where they will insert the kids' names. So some of the websites I found will have a list of names, and so long as your kid is listed there, you just choose the name you want, and they've already done it, right? And so as long as you don't have a super weird name, which some of them had, like Pickle was one of the names on there, and so they've gone pretty far on this. They probably have your kid's name on there. This is honestly a pretty smart idea.
I fucking love that one. I love that one. Mommy, why does Santa have 6 fingers?
Exactly.
Fucking AI Santa. I love that one, though. I wish I thought of that. Message from Santa, AI generated. Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
So here's another one I found where you can literally pick your videos, right? So if I click videos up here, what would you like to choose, John? Is it the birthday, naughty or nice, which we'll get into in a little bit, which is absolutely fascinating to me. Is it a behavior that you want to change in your child, right? Are you on the right track to get gifts this year? You better behave. How is your behavior today?
Oh my God.
Yeah, wait till we get, I could not believe how much parents are using this to manipulate their children. You got little kids ones here. You've got stuff for your pets. Do you want to send a video of Santa to your cat, John? There's grown-up stuff. Christmas is coming. They have pretty much a video for everything. I was actually very impressed with the selection that they have here. This is very well done. It's portablenorthpole.com. If you're just listening on the podcast, check out portablenorthpole.com. I think you'll be pretty impressed with what you see there.
I love it.
All right, so what I found in the reviews for some of these, Johns, were many parents were admitting that they're buying these literally for threats. I want to put this out there very quickly that I have done this. When our 10-year-old twins were kids and they were just not listening, we would grab the phone and be like, I'm calling Santa. And then we would act like we're talking to Santa on the phone. And it worked. It worked, John. They stopped doing what they were doing and they bought it for years. I'm not proud. It's not a proud parenting moment, but sometimes you get to your wit's end with these children and you have to pull out the big guns. So have you ever done this, or can you believe that parents do this?
No, I can't do it. My kids know that Santa's not real. So I'm fucked. What am I going to say? I can't do it. I can't do this one. I've given that dark ability away, that I cannot guilt trip my kids with Santa not coming because they know Santa is not coming. And so, no, I suppose I kind of do it in a way by saying, if you have a great year at school, you're going to get rewarded, blah, 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 that sort of stuff.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going nuts right here. I thought you would have an epic rant about how people are shit parents and American parents or some shit. I thought you would go off on this one. I'm here to tell you it works. So like it or don't like it, it works. But they do start catching on. And so I was like, immediately there's a problem there. How do we keep this grift going as long as it can go? Because it works. They calm down. They do what they're told. They do their chores. How could you keep it going? And I came up with a few ideas. So one would be Canva templates for naughty lists or nice list certificates, right? So they might not believe you're talking to Santa, but if you buy a $3.99 PDF on Etsy or Creative Market or any of those marketplaces where you can buy this, and a parent can just type in the name and print it out at home, and then they can be like, look, I got this from Santa. He said you're on the naughty list. I don't know what to tell you. I told you I was talking to him. This is how you could keep the grift going. Beyond that, you could have a pre-recorded voicemail so that when you call, you could be like, hey, I didn't get a hold of Santa this time. They'll be like, you're not calling. And be like, listen, here's Santa right here, right? Pay $1.99 every time you need to use the service. You could have Call Santa, where it's like a real number and you connect ChatGPT and 11 Labs into a wrapper, right? So that you're actually having a conversation with this AI and it's responding as Santa. That wouldn't be very hard to set up. So yeah, I've thought long and hard about how to keep this grift going, John. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's so, it's like everybody's problem today is rather than actually doing the work themselves, they offload it to someone else. Like, it's someone else's fault. It's not my fault you're naughty. It's not my fault that you're on the naughty list. It's Santa's fault.
I get a hint of jealousy here. I get a hint of you going, fuck, we probably should have leaned into the Santa thing a little harder.
No, I don't think so. I think you're right. I think people who do that, including you, are just lazy fucking
There it
parents.
is.
Like,
There it is.
You don't have the fucking balls to say, you're not going to get any presents this Christmas because I decide you're not, as your fucking parent, which is my job in the first place. You're saying, oh, I'm a pussy. Santa's not going to give you any presents, though. Like, fuck me dead. What kind of a gutless ball bag would you have to be to go down that path? Like, just man up. Like, you're being a little shit. You're not getting anything. Do better. There you go. John Parenting 101.
Have you ever held back on them? Have you ever said, you're not getting gifts this year? That feels more like, I'll turn this car around if you don't knock it off.
It does. I mean, it does sound like that. No, I don't do that. I don't. Like, I don't think you have to do that. I just don't think that's a path to good parenting in the first place. Yeah. But all I'm saying is, like, don't blame it on Santa. Like, that's a slippery slide. Your kids work out that you don't have any power. You're ultimately saying you're not responsible. Why would they ever respect you? Just saying.
I had high hopes for that rant there. I appreciate that very much, John. I think we could build something like this in a weekend, though, honestly. So could you use ChatGPT's API, build a Santa GPT, if you will? You could charge $10 a month for like unlimited conversations with Santa. Obviously, you'd have to start capping it somewhere. But in my experience, where I've been using the API on something I built on lovable.dev, you're paying fractions of a penny every time you're calling some information. And so how often are parents really going to use this, right? So even if you had to charge $20 a month, I think parents would use this. And nowadays, kids would totally believe that you're texting Santa, right? Like you're using, you're talking to Santa through an app. I think they would buy that. So I don't know if that exists yet, but if it doesn't, somebody should build it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move into the physical world here. So I've, again, found some very interesting stuff here. All right, so the first thing I found was reindeer rentals. Of course, this is a thing. I didn't really know it was a thing, but of course it's a thing. Actually, I found a bunch of websites that say, like, they fly in the reindeer from Alaska. Like, they typically live in Alaska, so they'll fly them in just for this season to run through this stuff, and then they'll fly them back to the farm in Alaska, which I actually found pretty fascinating. So it's $200 to $2,500 for 2 reindeer for 2 hours. You can pay extra to have a Santa cart attached to these reindeer, and then they're just part of your town festival, or I would assume they could be at some parties or get-togethers or things like that. Do you guys have reindeer down under? Is that a thing?
Well, I'm going to say no, but somebody will probably pop up and point out that I'm wrong. There are, in fact, reindeer in Australia. I don't think there's real reindeer here. No. Are there deer here? Yes. Are there reindeer? I don't know. Are they their own thing? I have no idea.
Well, you went and saw Santa on the beach. I wasn't sure if he had a couple reindeer sitting next to him in that sweltering.
No, he's got no animals with him, and there's certainly nowhere like Alaska in Australia. So, like, I don't know where they would live throughout the year if they need to live in a place such as Alaska. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. This is probably a North America / European thing.
I assume it's way too hot for them where you are. Here's another example of a business where they fly them in. They literally say that. We fly these in. Yeah, reindeer are beautiful animals we've flown in from Alaska. So they have like a farm where you can just come visit them, but they have a bunch of other stuff here too. Like, this is actually kind of a fascinating site. This site looks like it was built in 1982. They have reindeer ranch. They have a fall corn maze. They have Christmas trees for sale. They have a banquet hall. They have a reindeer tour that you can go on. This is a beautiful business. Honestly, it's a beautiful business. They have youth groups and reunions and birthday parties, probably weddings, I assume. What a cool little business, honestly. Like, I'm sure the people who own this are just fascinating and like would be cool to sit down and like sit on their porch in a rocking chair and drink a cup of coffee and hear about their business.
Shout out to Hardee's.
All right, so the next one I found was like personalized packages from Santa. So packagefromsanta.com, first off, great URL. They nailed it. But they have like full-fledged packages here, John. So for the platinum package, includes a Build-A-Bear baby Arctic fox. They've clearly partnered with some companies to like get stuff in here, right? So I'm sure those companies are subsidizing it so they can get their name out there. You get a $10 Build-A-Bear workshop voucher. Obviously, Build-A-Bear's got a hand in this as well. I actually found that kind of across the board is a lot of these offerings, just like this one, we're partnering with other brands to like get a little snippet of other brands in there. So kind of genius marketing, but you get all of this stuff, right? Nice list certificates, whatever a certificate of friendship is, a letter from Santa, a picture of Santa on the phone, hot cocoa, Build-A-Bear, kind of smart, right? But man, the seasonality of this might just kill you, right? You're prepping all year to get these boxes ready, and like you better have your projections nailed down of how you're going to move of these, or what are you going to do? You're going to sit on it till next year? Like, this seems pretty wild. I assume a lot of this is print on demand, but you're getting this Build-A-Bear stuff ahead of time, right? Build-A-Bear's got to be prepared for how many you're going to order. I don't know I'm guessing this is reindeer food here. Genuine reindeer food in a collector's tin. Like they have to ration out some stuff there, glitter and oats or what have you. So I found this one interesting. The next one I found interesting was Fiverr. So of course there's services for this. If you just go type in, gigs/Santa on Fiverr, there's lots of stuff on here, right? They'll do a voiceover. They'll do a professional Father Christmas Santa voiceover recording, a video message from Santa Claus. Here's some lady acting like Santa's elf who will send you a video. I'm scared to scroll further, if I'm dead honest with you, John. I imagine it gets a little crazier the further down we go. This seems very PG up at the top here, so let's just stay there. Are you shocked by this or not shocked by this?
No, I'm not shocked by it at all. I have never looked for it on Fiverr. I've spent so many years on Fiverr. I've never looked for Christmas stuff at all, but it doesn't surprise me one little bit. And I absolutely love the package from Santa idea as well. I think that was pretty cool. Well, that's a good idea. That's a good business. I think you're right. Like the forecasting and making sure you've got enough stock and not too much is a little thing you'd have to work out. But like, what a great business. Like you make a bunch of money, 6 weeks work or whatever, 2 months work, 3 months work maybe, and you're done.
Well, they get even better. So this one is like straight up SaaS. Right? This is Caught Santa in My House. It is literally stickers that you appendage into your photo. You take the photo, you choose the sticker that makes the most sense, and you slide it in there. You pay, obviously, for the different stickers and probably pay to remove ads and things like that. Very, very simple SaaS. You can see on the screen, there's just a bunch of stickers, right? So you take your photo, add your Santa, over 120 poses, pick your favorite, and then share it with your kids. This has definitely happened in my house, John. 100% has happened in my house. I don't know whether it was this app or a different app, but we've definitely done this. Kind of cheesy, but like, there's no physical products here. You don't have to worry about making sure you have inventory for this. This is just, hopefully people find your app.
Yeah, well, that's it. As long as you can get people looking at your app and you can do that at an affordable price that, sits within whatever you're charging people for. I mean, this one's got 25,000 ratings, so people have found this app for sure. Catch Santa in My House. It's gold.
Yeah, over 5 million downloads. All right, so not your kids, again, they're going to catch on, right? So maybe they don't believe your photo. Maybe that's AI. I'm sure that's going to be a thing in your house. So you need Santa-proof kits, John. You need to buy a boot-proof kit. You need to buy an evidence kit or a deluxe evidence kit so that you can prove to them that Santa was indeed here. You can go put the footprints in the yard. You can leave his glasses and a glove on the table because that was totally what Santa would do in your house. Of the millions of houses he's visiting, he forgot his glasses in yours. But I kind of like this one. Not gonna lie, I kind of like this one.
Oh well, when you get into a lie, you just go deeper and deeper and deeper, and that's that's all this is. No, I like it. It's once again kind of cool products. It's a bit of fun as well for the kiddies, I suppose. So I get it.
So lots of families make cookies. They buy milk. In fact, there's a noticeable spike in milk sales in December in America. What would be the second order effects of that, right? We got to leave milk and cookies out for Santa, but we can't forget the reindeer, John. You can sell reindeer food, which is literally just oats and glitter. And there's a lot of listings here on Etsy of reindeer food. You could go a lot of different angles to make yourself stand out here. But again, there's second orders to everything. He's got to feed his reindeer, John. So I actually found this one kind of cool. I thought the kids maybe could build this out and sell these maybe locally, maybe not on Etsy. But I would not have guessed reindeer food is a thing. When I found this one, I smiled a little bit.
Was there reindeer evidence on the Santa-proof kits? That's what I'm going to say. Because you know what reindeers do when they eat food? They do shits. Where's the rainbow poop? Where's the reindeer poop outside?
I'm typing it in, John. Tell me, is there reindeer poop? Show me reindeer poop. There's elf poop, snowman poop, and reindeer poop here. I think this is candy. I could be wrong, but there is definitely reindeer poop and Grinch poop on this. There you go, right there. There's a big. It's just coffee beans. All right, and the last one I found was, what happens when you don't have a chimney? Your kids are asking, Dad, Santa's coming, but we don't have a chimney. How will he get in? Somebody thought of that too. There's a Santa key. Why wouldn't there be a Santa key? We can buy a Santa key and put it on the door so that Santa can get into our house. He's not going to forget about you, honey. We'll just buy this key. Another genius idea. I think we could probably throw one of these up and maybe make some sales, John. Like, this would be really minimal effort. I think we could probably find some for very, very cheap. I don't know what we could throw in there to make ourselves set apart, but their prices are kind of all over the place here. So what do you think? Santa key?
Yep. Santa key? Not a bad idea. Ship some Santa keys.
All right, so I came with a couple ideas. Here's ones I think if they don't exist, they should exist. And I don't think they would be that hard to build. One of them's pretty easy to build and it's a SaaS product. One's more physical, but I couldn't find either one of these yet. So someone's going to build them. They're probably already built. I just couldn't find them. But the first one I'll call Santa's layaway program. So imagine the stress that parents are going through when they buy the gifts, and then they have to hide them somewhere in their house so their kids don't find them, right? And they have to wait for the kids to go to bed and put them out there. And then you buy that app so you can take a picture and fake Santa. Where's the high-end version of that, where you buy the products whenever you want to? This person stores them, wraps them. They handle everything for you. And then why not just come on over and put them in the house too? Like, why wouldn't that be a thing? I would imagine somebody could do quite a few houses over the course of one night, right? And you're going to charge a pretty penny for this service. You're storing it, you're wrapping it, you're making sure it goes to the right house, and you're dressing up as Santa and probably trying to get caught in the process, right? Or making it more real in some way. I would imagine that there are high-end people who would pay for this. I would assume there's some like vetting and stuff those people would want to do before they come in they let you come in your house. They let you come in their house at 1 a.m. It's probably pretty creepy. And so I genuinely think this is a good idea. I could not find anybody doing it, and I'm not sure why, because somebody would pay for this for sure.
Yeah, somebody would. I mean, the only downside of it, of course, is that, I mean, it's 1 day a year. I mean, obviously the storing of the gifts and the wrapping them and all of that sort of thing. I mean, there's that service which would happen in advance, but it's a pretty short-term thing, and you've got to do the work on Christmas Eve. You probably, if you wanted to do it at any scale, you'd obviously have to hire a bunch of people to do it too. So is that all worth it for one night of the year? Like, you'd have to charge a bit to make it worthwhile, which, man, hey, like I say, maybe there's people that want to pay it.
I think you're charging $2,000 to $5,000 and you're doing 20. That's a pretty good side gig for one night of the year, right? And maybe a few other nights where you're wrapping gifts and storing them somewhere. $5,000, 20 houses, $100,000. That sounds like a great side hustle to me.
Yeah, I like it. Who's going to do it?
The other one I found is much easier to do. And it's, you could build this on lovable.dev or again, vibe code this ChatGPT Santa that allow the kids to text Santa all year long, right? AI responds, remembers everything, hopefully. I don't know about you, John, but AI kind of sucks sometimes. December 1st, parents get a report of everything their kids ask for, everything they talk to Santa about, and you just charge, $100 a year. You're probably doing okay making money off the actual chat with the kids, but I bet you're making a fortune on that data on the back end, right? If you get enough users in here, toy companies, brands are going to be thrilled to know what kids are asking for, right? There's going to be a lot of focus groups, a lot of consultants who want the information that you just gathered from that app. So that one to me seems very scalable. Again, you just have to get it out there. You have to have the brand of ChatGPT Santa because there's no moat there. There's no moat whatsoever. Anybody could spin this up.
Definitely. And like, if you're getting kids asking, like inputting like what they would like at Christmas, like there'd be nothing to stop you from like putting out offers around that stuff as well. Like, or just like, here's your Christmas shopping list, all affiliate links. Here's all the things they asked for from the big retailers. Here's the affiliate links for them. Yeah, you could sell the data as well, I'm sure, but get affiliate commissions off the whole thing.
I got to believe I'm not some uber genius who thought of this and no one else has. This has got to be a thing already. Someone's had to have built this. If they haven't, God forbid, somebody listening to this, please build that. It makes too much sense.
Yeah, I like it. ChatGPT Santa.
But the whole point of this show was like Americans are about to spend $1 trillion on Christmas and billions just on like lying to their children. So the parents will literally pay strangers to lie to their kids. They pay apps to track someone who doesn't exist. They're buying fake evidence of fake events because they're too scared, as John would say, to say, I bought this. Kind of wild to me that we all agree to lie. Every adult in America, the same lie, the same time, every year for 80 years of your fucking life. Same song, same cookie, same lies. And the fact that I'm an asshole for saying this out loud is insane. The bar's dead. Santa killed it. And we paid him to do it.